Hey, what is up YouTube? It is Leo here. Legion just updated the Infinity Gauntlet on May 14th. It's a bit of a late reaction considering today is May 16th, but better late than never. I'm going to be reading it and basically kind of reacting to the updates because from what I know, there has been issues with the Gauntlet, but after this patch note, I guess everything is all good now, and we're gonna see if it's still something that we want to get or if we want to hold off on it. So let's dive right into it. So as you can see, Legion posted a update on the 14th. Infinity Gauntlet changes. Open a ticket and support for an updated version. So if you guys do have one, make sure to open a ticket so you can get yours replaced, because the effects on the previous one isn't going to apply automatically. You'll have to get it swapped out. So buff to be able to swap between Fortune 5 and Silk Touch. I kind of knew this, so I guess it's not. I knew this already because I was taking a look at the Gauntlet, and I was like, oh shoot, you can swap between Silk Touch and Fortune 5. And I think the main reason the reason why they went with Fortune 5 is because people are probably going to be trying to use it with the Hyperion. And I guess that's the only way that it'll work if they add Fortune to the Gauntlet itself. So that's kind of huge, I guess. So the Hyperion plus Gauntlet method is going to be pretty viable. Now, next one is texture size reduce, make Gauntlet smaller, and flipped. I have two right thumbs. Make Gauntlet smaller? Huh. I guess, was it bigger before on the screen? Maybe that's what happened. And flipped. I don't think they flipped it, because like, thinking about it, your thumb would be like this, right? So I don't think they flipped the thumb, but I guess maybe they made the Gauntlet smaller. I don't really know. I don't remember what it was like before, but I'll take their word for it, because it is in the patch note. And the next part is a huge part, the item behavior explanation. It used to go to the crosshair. It was massive. Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess it does hold a lot of power, I guess. But okay, glad that they made it smaller. So this is the next part that we're going to be diving into is the item behavior explanation. This is a huge one and it can be confusing. I was talking to the stream and I got a rundown. I think I can probably understand this a little bit better. So how the Gauntlet works is that when it is in the offhand, the Vein Miner of the Gauntlet activates after your main hand pick resolves its own abilities and enchantments. The Vein Miner of the Gauntlet work. Yeah. Okay, I thought I would understand this a little bit better, but I'm still having a hard time. How the Gauntlet works is that when it is in the offhand, the Vein Miner of the Gauntlet activates after your main hand pick resolves its own abilities and enchantments. I don't know why, but I maybe I have like brain fog or something, but I'm not comprehending it. But we'll move forward. Maybe we can go back to that later. Or no, there's an example. So Vein Miner Silk Touch pickaxe in main hand. Okay, so let's say you have a Blossom pick that has Vein Miner and Silk Touch. Gauntlet in Fortune mode in offhand. Okay, this is actually kind of valid. So if the Gauntlet is in Fortune mode and you have a Silk Touch Vein Mining already in your main hand, the Vein Miner activates. The Vein Miner activates silking 11 ores as normal. Okay, so the Silk Touch would override the Fortune mode. Yeah, no, it is slightly confusing, but hopefully we can kind of like understand it so we can explain it a little bit better. I understand a little bit better with this explanation here. So let's say you have a Blossom pick, or if you have an Elemental pick and that is in Silk Touch mode, and your Gauntlet is in Fortune mode your main hand pickaxe is going to override that Fortune, so you're going to be silking as usual. That is the first example. Then the Gauntlet activates fortuning 11 more. Oh wait, no, never mind, it lost me now. Then the Gauntlet activates fortuning 11 more ores. Vein Miner. Okay, no, I'm really. Do we have to go back to this? Wait. I'm going to try my best to understand this, and we're going to understand this so I can explain it more confidently, because there's nothing that I hate more in a game that when I can't understand something, I want to understand it, right? It is confusing. It is confusing, even for me. And let me try to understand this. Vein Miner Silk Touch pickaxe in main hand. I'm doing left hand because this is my main hand is my left hand. The Vein Miner activates soaking 11 ores as normal. Then the Gauntlet activates, fortuning 11 more ores. So are you saying that this is kind of like a duplication? Are they saying that we're duplicating? Okay, so let's say this is in fortune mode, right? Okay, let's so it's in fortune. It's duping. Is that not duping? No. So this doesn't have vein. Because I got a silk and a fortune now. With the Aurora Carver, because this has silk touch, right? But I just mined 1 diamond. I'm assuming there was 2 diamonds. So whatever was vein. Okay, I understand. So the one that you hit gets silked. Everything that is vein mined is fortuned. Yeah, okay. The Gauntlet Vein Miner takes priority over pickaxe. So you silk 1 ore, but fortune the rest. Okay, I thought it was a dupe method, and I was like, holy crap. Are we able to silk plus fortune at the same time now? I guess you can, but it's not a dupe. It's just, okay, in better words, the way that I'll explain it is that, so if you have the Gauntlet in your main hand and you have a silk pickaxe, and your Gauntlet is in fortune mode, the first ore that you hit with the priority pickaxe is that 1 ore that you hit is going to be silked. Now, and since the Gauntlet's in fortune mode, anything that's vein mined around it is going to be fortuned. So, okay. That's the best way that I can maybe explain it. I understand. But there is another example. Let me just have a sip of this Red Bull here. Wow. We're really working the brain this morning. Okay, so normal pickaxe in main hand, Gauntlet in silk mode in offhand, the first block mined as normal, then the Gauntlet's vein miner will silk the rest of the ore vein. Makes sense, because the pick that you're using in your main hand is going to have priority. So for example, let's say you're using the adamantium that has fortune, right? You hit 1 ore, a diamond ore, let's say for example, with the adamantium, one of those ores is going to be fortune. Everything around it, let's say your Gauntlet is in silk touch mode, anything that's vein mined around that diamond will be silked instead. And of course, to counteract that, you probably want, if you want to be fortune mining, then you want to set the Gauntlet in fortune mode. Also, one question. So now that the Gauntlet is in, it doesn't say here, or no, it does say here. So now that the Gauntlet has fortune 5, I guess I asked earlier, does the fortune 5 override everything? But I was told that it was only the first ore that you hit. Only the ore that you hit will be fortune 5. Everything that got vein mined would be back to the priority of the pickaxe. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Sorry. Because I want to understand, just so moving forward from today, I can do all my tests and I can feel very, very confident with the Infinity Gauntlet. Yes, perfect. Original just confirmed that. So anything that you hit the first ore that you hit will have fortune 5. Anything that's vein mined, I guess, will have the fortune that is everything that is vein mined is fortuned by the Gauntlet. Never mind. Oh, pickaxe priority first. So let's say your adamantium has fortune 3. It's fortune 3, right? Or it's a fortune 4. I totally forgot. I think it's fortune 3. Let's say so that first ore that you hit, let's say it's a gold ore, it'll get fortune 4'd. Anything that is around it will get fortune 5'd. Interesting. This is going to make the Hyperion experiment so much easier to understand now. And I'm very, very excited to try that one out. But I do want to try, I think moving forward from today, I think we're going to try the Hades first. Now, the first ore you mine goes by your main hand pickaxe. The rest is vein mined by the pickaxe. So fortune 5 applies. Yes. Yeah. That's how I interpreted it. I don't know if I worded it correctly, but that's how I interpreted it as well. Yeah. Still, a lot of it is confusing, but I'm sure we're gonna understand it in like a week or two. I think everybody's gonna get it. But for anybody who is like new to the game, it's gonna be extremely confusing. But I'm starting to understand it. All right, so miscellaneous changes. So after that kind of summarizes the Infinity Gauntlet. How long was that? Like that was like 10 minutes explanation. Not bad. That was fun. But let's take a look at the miscellaneous changes. Infinity Pickaxe cooldown reduced from 20 to 15 seconds. I didn't know it was 20 seconds. I don't have an Infinity Pickaxe yet, but 15 seconds is kind of huge because if you guys didn't know, the Infinity Pickaxe is pretty much the Aurora Carver, just the Fortune version instead, which makes it a really, really good pickaxe. Don't sleep on it, to be honest. And it going from a 20-second cooldown down to a 15-second, that's huge because from what I remember, the Aurora Carver is like what, 17 seconds or something like that. So this is technically lower unless there's been a rebalance and they're both 15 seconds. Nonetheless, 15 seconds is still amazing. You're getting a pretty much a aura exposer or Virgo for 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds. That's huge. Also, next one's a huge one because I heard people having issues with this. The Space Stone. If you guys don't know what the Space Stone is, it's pretty much like the Astral Pendulum or the Bramble Wing. If you know what the Bramble Wing is, you link a barrel. You link a barrel, not a chest. And you can access it anywhere. Before, players were having issues because there was a cooldown for it, which I guess they just fixed up here. When my first thought was like, why did they add that? But good news for anybody who has a Space Stone and wants to use it. It's now down to 1 second, so you can open it as often as you like. That is good news. I'm gonna be on the hunt for one, probably when the crate is like more widely spread on the server, when the petals and everything come out. That's when I'm going to start hunting for the Space Stone. Other chest linking items will have their cooldown increase from 0 to 1 second later on, just to avoid potential issues. Yes, because they're going to compare it, but later on. Okay, so not yet. So right now the Astral Pendulum is pretty instant. Okay, and this is how it's going to work, except it's going to be half. So the Astral Pendulum's I linked a double chest, but it's going to be essentially half of this. Okay. What else is there? Druid Cloak cooldown for reduced from 5 hours to 15 minutes. I don't know what the Druid Cloak does, but 5 hours is crazy. Looks like a W update for the Druid Cloak if anybody is using that. Onion Cult Helmet odds set to 0%. I think that's like an unusable item. Is that why? Okay. Ability to post images in general and off topic in Discord. Okay, Discord patch note. And then to sum things up, there's been connection issues, aware of constant server issues being worked on. Apologies for the constant interruptions. We'll be running pinatas every couple of hours. That's sweet. I love it when Legion does that. When there's like a hiccup with the server and stuff like that. Like, remember that one day when nobody could log in for like 1 day on Lotus? He gave us pinatas for an entire day. That was crazy. People, it was like raining petals all day. Thank you, Legion, for the wonderful patch note. I'm feeling very enlightened. Yeah. And cut.